1948 USA 1-cent coin. Today, we're diving headfirst into a rumor that has ignited countless searches through old coin jars across America: the legendary, the elusive, the potentially $1,000,000 1948 Lincoln cent. You've heard the whispers, seen the online chatter, perhaps even picked up a well-worn 1948 penny, wondering if it holds the key to your financial dreams. Can a coin from the post-war era, a year when the U.S. Mint cranked out over 2.5 billion pennies, truly be worth more than a luxury estate? Well, prepare yourselves, because we're about to uncover the fascinating truth, separate the facts from the fervent fiction, and tell you exactly what makes a coin achieve that stratospheric, multi-million-dollar valuation. And yes, we'll confirm once and for all if your 1948 penny is truly a lottery ticket. First, let's get acquainted with our humble protagonist, the 1948 Lincoln cent. This copper coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the familiar, wheat ears, reverse, a design that graced the penny from 1909 to 1958. It's a classic American coin, steeped in history. Now, for the reality check. In 1948, the U.S. Mint produced an enormous quantity of pennies across its three branches: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark 317, 575, 000 Denver, D Mint Mark 172, 835, 000 San Francisco, S Mint Mark 67,900,000, for a grand total of over 2.5 billion Lincoln cents. So, right off the bat, you can see why a regular 1948 Lincoln cent is just that, a penny. Its value in average circulated condition is, quite literally, 1 cent. Even in pristine, uncirculated condition, a typical 1948 penny might fetch a few dollars, certainly not millions. But the rumors persist. Why? Because in the world of coin collecting, the devil is always in the details. And sometimes, those details involve truly extraordinary circumstances or errors. When you hear about American coins selling for millions, you're usually thinking of absolute numismatic superstars like the 1943 copper penny. This is another famous rarity that people often confuse with other years. Almost all 1943 pennies were struck in steel due to wartime copper shortages. A handful were mistakenly struck on copper planchets. These genuine 1943 copper errors can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the finest known examples approaching $1 million. These coins are the true multi-million-dollar legends. The common thread? They are either ancient, or they were never intended for circulation, or they exist in minuscule numbers due to extraordinary historical circumstances or catastrophic minting errors. So, if the 1948 penny itself isn't intrinsically valuable, why does the myth persist? It often boils down to a conflation of genuine errors with exaggerated claims, and sometimes, outright misinformation. Are there any valuable 1948 pennies? Yes, but they are not worth millions, and they are incredibly rare even within the realm of error coins. We're talking about genuine minting errors, not just any old 1948 penny. Doubled dies, a coin die that has been struck multiple times, causing a visible doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. For 1948, there are minor doubled die varieties known, particularly on the date or lettering. These can add value, but we're talking a few dollars to maybe $100 to $200 for a significant and clearly visible example in high grade, certainly not millions. You need a magnifying glass to even spot most of these. Off-center strikes. When the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing and an unstruck crescent of blank metal. A significantly off-center 1948 penny can be worth $50 to $200 plus depending on how far off-center it is and its condition. Again, not millions. Significant off-center strike. Text overlay. 1948 off-center strike, $50 to $200 plus clipped planchets, die cracks, etc. Other minor errors like a piece of the planchet being clipped off, or raised lines from cracks in the die, can also add a small premium, usually in the $10 to $50 range for a 1948 penny. The key takeaway here is twofold. Asterisk, these errors are rare, even for a common year like 1948. You won't find them often. Asterisk their value is in the tens or hundreds of dollars, not millions. There are no known, documented, or verifiable 1948 Lincoln cent errors that have ever approached anything close to $1 million at auction.so. If your 1948 penny isn't going to buy you that dream house, what should you be looking for if you want to find genuinely valuable US coins? The principles for finding treasure remain consistent. Low mintage figures. This is the golden rule. Coins with very low production numbers for circulation are inherently rarer and more valuable. Major, documented errors. Look for the famous mules. Coins struck with mismatched dies, significant off-center strikes, or dramatic double dies on specific, well-known years, like the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, which can be worth thousands. These are distinct, verifiable, and highly valuable. Exceptional condition, mint state, even a common coin, if it's in absolute, flawless mint state condition, especially red. Examples for copper coins that retain their original brilliant color can command a premium. But for common years like 1948, this premium is still only a few dollars, not millions. Always consult reputable numismatic sources like the Red Book, a guidebook of United States coins, pcgs.com, ngccoin.com, and established auction house archives. Be very skeptical of unsubstantiated claims on social media or random websites. So, while the 1948 Lincoln cent won't likely make you a millionaire, don't dismiss the humble penny. Collecting coins is a fantastic hobby. Each coin, regardless of its monetary value, tells a story, a small, tangible piece of American history in your hand. And who knows, maybe one day you will stumble upon a genuine rarity, not necessarily a multi-million-dollar penny, but perhaps a valuable error, a scarce key date, or a piece that connects you directly to a fascinating moment in the past. The real treasure is often the thrill of the discovery and the joy of the hunt, even if it's just finding a well-preserved piece of your own history.